This is your host, Dub FFG, with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. And today we're going to talk about Week 16. That's round 2 of the Fantasy Football Playoffs. Let's get to it. First up is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, Smith-Njigba is now the go-to wide receiver in Seattle, simply because DK Metcalf is battling injuries off and on. Thus, Jackson has been hot. He's been hot and he's been consistent. He's facing the 32nd ranked defense versus wide receivers, and it's a home game versus the Vikings. So be sure to have Jackson Smith-Njigba in the game, even if it's at a flex position. He's going to get you some points this week. Next up, we have James Conner. Now, James Conner and the Cardinals, they're in the hunt for a playoff spot, and they're still in the hunt to be number 1 in their division. Plus, James Conner, he's a hot player. He's facing the Carolina Panthers home, and they're the 32nd ranked defense versus running backs. So James Conner should eat good this week. Put him in the game. Next up, we got Mike Evans. Now, Mike Evans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the road versus the Dallas Cowboys. It's a Sunday night game. This should be a good game, particularly from a fantasy perspective. Mike Evans, he's going to feast good on the Dallas Cowboys defense, particularly their secondary. So Mike Evans, big numbers. Put him in the game. New season, new brand. Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies Under Armour t-shirt is now available. Pick up yours today. Next up is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions are still number 1 in the NFC. They're the NFC playoff leaders. However, they just lost their running back, David Montgomery. So this means Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get more touches. He's going to carry the load a little bit more. It's a road game versus the Bears, so it's going to be outdoors, maybe a little cold, a little nippy, but Jahmyr Gibbs, he should still get those touches. He's going to eat good this week. Next up, we got James Cook. Now, James Cook has been a hot player as well. The Bills, they've been hot. They have a home game versus the New England Patriots, and James Cook has been putting up consistent numbers, so there's no reason to bench him, no reason to not even think about having him in the game. Keep him securely locked in your lineup. James Cook. Next up, we got Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen has been a beast. He's been super hot, so there's no even thought of even tempting to bench him. If you're thinking of benching him, I'm asking the question, why are you even playing fantasy football? Josh Allen, home game versus the Patriots, very consistent. Expect them to have big numbers as always. If you have Josh Allen, you're looking pretty good in the playoffs. Keep him in the game. And this is Week 16, round 2 of the fantasy playoffs. How did you do? For me, unfortunately, I got knocked out of the playoffs as the number 1 ranked team, and my studs came up duds. The curse of the number 1 ranked team finally caught up to me. Out of all my years of playing fantasy football, I avoided it. This time it got me. So I'm out of the playoffs in one particular league, and another league I actually didn't make the playoffs. So this has been a season, but again, as a former multiple champ, I still see some things that people can do to definitely help their team win. If you're battling with injuries or you're battling with some players being benched, these are some players that can definitely help you out. So stay tuned with Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies here on our channel, as well as on our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, or X. Definitely get those questions in so we can get you some answers to them. This is Dub FFG. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. We'll see you next time, hopefully in the championship.